Hello everybody and welcome to chapter number 10, Monopolistic Competition, Oligopoly, and Game Theory. We take a look at our final two market structures in this particular chapter, and this is probably the weirdest chapter that we'll probably get into within this entire semester, particularly because of game theory. Probably the most useful and useless thing that we'll take a look at in this entire semester, so we'll get to see exactly what that is all about. In this chapter, we'll do the typical sort of things that we did in the previous two chapters, breaking down each of these two market structures, these final two market structures, taking a look at the profit maximizing condition and a few of the idiosyncrasies within each of the market structures. With monopolistic competition, this is going to be a fairly short market structure. We just take a look at the sort of characteristics and features of this particular market structure, as well as the five-step pattern for maximizing profits, and then of course how we transition from the short run over to the long run. A very, very typical sort of methodology that we laid out in the previous two chapters. Then things get a little bit more different when we get into oligopoly, our final market structure, because we can actually take a look at three different types of models within oligopoly. We take a look at the kink demand curve model, we take a look at cartels, and then of course we take a look at the game theory model itself. And all three of these models are going to be going ahead and taking usage of the fact that, hey, there's going to be some type of mutual interdependence between all players within oligopoly. So what one firm does or what one person does is going to affect every other single person or firm within the model that we build up. So three models under oligopoly, and we'll take a look at all three of these models in depth one by one. But before we can get into oligopoly, let's go ahead and do a very, very quick review of what monopolistic competition is all about. So characteristics of monopolistic competition include many buyers and sellers. So just like what we saw under perfect competition, there's going to be an infinite amount of buyers and an infinite amount of sellers. There are going to be differentiated products now, however. So remember that under perfect competition, there was going to be homogeneous or standardized products where we as consumers couldn't tell exactly where the product came from. But under monopolistic competition, this is where the main feature is going to come in, these differentiated products. So we know exactly where this particular item, where this particular good, what firm is actually supplying it to us. There are no barriers to market entry or exit, so there are no obstacles that would prevent any one firm from entering or exiting the industry. There is going to be some control over the price, and that's going to be stemming from these differentiated products, because we can say that this product is differentiated from every other sort of competitor firm. Every single firm or company is going to be able to charge different prices for their products. So now they actually do have some control over the price. They are not price takers as was under perfect competition. However, as we transition over to the long run, we still see that every single firm under monopolistic competition is going to be having zero economic profit or normal profits in the long run. So the name monopolistic competition, it stems from having both monopolistic and perfect competition sort of features. It's monopolistic in the sense that, hey, this is the only firm that can be selling this differentiated product. No other firm can sell this particular product, so therefore it's going to be monopolistic in this case. However, it's going to be also very competitive because the firm is actually operating in a broader industry where there's a lot of competitors. So monopoly and perfect competition coming into play with one another, combining a few of these features under monopolistic competition. And we said that monopolistic competition is probably where we as consumers spend the most of our money. It's essentially going to be where we spend a lot of our money, because a lot of the firms and corporations where we go to fall under the idea or under the market structure of monopolistic competition. One of the best examples is going to be the food service industry. It is very, very sort of defined as a monopolistic competitor. So we can even break this down even more as we did in chapter number 8. We said that, hey, we can go ahead and take a look at the restaurant industry. We can take a look at the hamburger industry. Maybe we want to take a look at, say, maybe the sub or sandwich industry. We can take a look at maybe some type of taco industry as well, some type of chicken wing industry, maybe some Asian food, maybe some Italian, some pizza right here. So a lot of the food industry and a lot of the sort of firms and corporations where we sort of spent our money is going to fall under the idea of monopolistic competition, because these are the firms, they are very monopolistic because they are going to be the only firms that sell this particular item. However, it is very competitive because there's a whole bunch of competitors within the broader industry itself. The clothing industry, we said, was another example of this. There's just a lot of good examples of firms and corporations operating under the monopolistic competition type of market structure. And the key sort of factor or characteristic that we want to hone in under this market structure is going to be some type of product differentiation. It is the key to this type of market structure, and it gives the firm some control over the price, a little bit of market power. So here, if we take a look at monopolistic competition, it is going to be seen as having a little bit more market power compared to perfect competition. So what exactly is product differentiation? Let's go ahead and build this up. So here, product differentiation. And product differentiation just tells us that, hey, we now no longer have a standardized or homogeneous type of product or good. We can now say that, hey, this one product belongs to this one particular firm or one particular company. So let's go ahead and take a look at product differentiation. How exactly can we differentiate our products? So one firm's product is going to be distinguished. One firm's product is distinguished from another's and it can be through a whole variety of means. We can take a look at advertising, and let me spell this better. So advertising. So one firm's product is distinguished from another's through advertising, through location. It can be through innovation. It can be through some type of quality, type of differences, quality, etc., etc. So here, just a lot of sort of features that we can take a look at under product differentiated. So how can a firm or corporation say that their product is going to be different from another firm or corporation? It can be through advertising, it can be through location, innovation, quality, just a whole bunch of different characteristics. And this is going to lead the firm or corporation to having some type of market power, some type of control over the price, so therefore they can actually set the prices within this type of market structure, comparing it to under perfect competition. And the major type of product differentiation, the major component that we're going to be focusing in on just a little bit more, is going to be advertising. So how can advertising actually tell us that one firm's product is going to be different than another firm's? And we can actually break down advertising into two different sort of components, and we'll go ahead and take a closer look at that in the next lecture. However, just do note that under monopolistic competition, the major feature is going to be product differentiation, and a firm can sort of differentiate its product through a whole variety of means, through advertising, through location. We can say that, hey, maybe we just sort of provide the product on a physical basis, or we can actually sort of provide a sort of digital basis. There are a lot of sort of differences between theirs. We can say some type of innovation, maybe that one product is going to be saying that, hey, we have the highest quality type of products available, or we're using the newest type of technology, or we're using the cheapest type of technology, or just using the standardized type of technology. There's just a lot of different ways that we can sort of differentiate our products. And in the next video, we'll hone in on this idea of advertising just a little bit more and take a look at the two different types of advertising components.